Why am I supporting Doug Robinson for governor? Because he cares about the issues that I care about. You see, Doug's got a vibrant vision for Colorado. Doug's a career businessman, not a career politician. He started 2 nonprofits that help kids. Doug actually has gotten more done outside the system than most people do inside the system. Doug has a conservative plan for Colorado's future. Economic prosperity by protecting Tabor, expanding educational opportunities, and fixing our roads. That's why I'm supporting Doug Robinson for governor. It's important to elect.
Please welcome Diane Robinson, wife of Doug Robinson.
Sorry about that. Hi, thank you, Will, and the entire Armstrong family, and your incredible father, whose legacy continues to inspire us all. You, your dad, and so many people in this room and across the state who never forget who we serve, including those who have given the biggest sacrifices of all and continue to put their lives on the line for all of us. That is why I am here today. While putting our family out there so publicly does feel hard and a bit scary, it's the least I can do, as I know Doug is the thoughtful statesman and pragmatic problem solver our state needs at this important time. I met Doug over 32 years ago, and we both had demanding jobs in New York City. And immediately, we found out we had several things in common. We love Colorado, and we both lived here as kids. I lived in Colorado Springs when my dad was a fighter pilot and a professor at the Air Force Academy, and Doug and I were determined to move back to raise our kids here. And ever since, Doug has been my best friend, the love of my life, and my trusted and dependable partner in raising our 5 kids, now ages 27 to 17, through all the ups and downs that life can bring. Doug, and the other thing I can tell you is all through his life, no matter the situation, he always puts the best interests of others first, and he never hesitates to step up and take action when he can make a difference. Doug is the one candidate running who possesses the depth and breadth of executive leadership experience, the financial expertise, impeccable integrity, and the determination to make important things happen for all of you, all of our kids and grandkids, and all Coloradans. So now, please welcome our state's next governor, Doug Robinson.
Thank you.
Please welcome Colorado gubernatorial candidate, Doug Robinson.
Isn't she terrific? Wouldn't she make a great First Lady of Colorado? Thank you, Will, and for that great introduction, and thank you so much for all of you coming and being here today. What an amazing event. I can't see you because the lights are just strong in my eyes, but I know you're out there somewhere, so it's great to be here. So recently, Diane and I had a break from the campaign trail, which is unusual, and we went to see a movie, The Darkest Hour. Have any of you seen it? It's a movie about Winston Churchill and the beginning of World War II, but it's really about leadership and the courage to fight. 2 attributes that are remarkably relevant for Colorado today. You see, Colorado's at a crossroads. For the last 12 years, we've had leadership that has not been principled and not had the courage to fight for things that are best for Colorado. We have Democrats that are running that are the most liberal that they have ever been. We've not had leadership to fix our crumbling roads, to improve our kids' outcomes, to keep our communities free from drugs. This is the type of leadership that we need to bring Colorado forward into the next, to build our vibrant future. You know, we have a lot of things as Republicans that we can be proud about and stand tall about. Look at what's happening in Washington. Look at the things that are getting done. As we head into the midterms, we should not be ashamed to talk about the vibrant economy, the safety that we have. Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court. Do I get applause for that? Conservative judges around the country, and less regulation of a thriving economy. But we have to also talk about what are we going to do as Republicans here in Colorado. We are the party of action. And my plan is to focus on a few things. Number one, fix our roads. That means I-25, four lanes, both directions from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins, no tolls, no new taxes. We have to improve our schools by incenting our school districts to move money from administrative costs into the classroom where it will make a real difference in the lives of our kids. And you know what? Thank you. We have to do better at making government more efficient and more effective so that we can do more with the government that we have. And we have to reduce our health care costs. How about requiring that our providers actually disclose their prices and quality scores? What would that do to spur competition and to bring competitive situation into our healthcare? So we can do better there. We can lead in these ways. And you know, leadership is not something that you are born with. It's something that you learn through your life's experiences. When I was a teenager, my father left our family. And for me, my mother, either out of shame or embarrassment, didn't let others know the full extent of our circumstances. And that meant I went to work. And I remember paying for groceries for my brothers and sisters and working my way through college. And that taught me a few things. Number one, the value of a hard-earned dollar. Woo! Number two, the ability to take risks, to problem solve, to step up and be innovative. That showed up for Diane and I when we moved here to Colorado over 20 years ago. I saw that there was a better way to do things. I took the risk to start with some others our own firm. We built that to be the leading advisor, corporate finance advisor in Colorado, helping other companies to raise the money to grow and to hire folks, hiring thousands of employees across the state. Along the way, when I saw challenges, I didn't look to government for a solution. I stepped up. First, many of the companies that we were financing were technology companies. And I saw that there was a whole segment of kids from disadvantaged backgrounds that didn't have access to technology skills. I started a nonprofit called Kids Tech. Today, we've taught over 15,000 of them skills that are making them ready for the jobs of the future. Then when marijuana was legalized, we didn't think it was such a good thing. Diane went down to the organizing meeting, and it was clear that the focus was on money and not about protecting our kids and public safety. So we said, we're going to do something about it. And we started a nonprofit that has been behind the scenes in putting in place pragmatic policies that are making lives better for Colorado families, trying to keep marijuana out of the hands of our kids. We've been responsible. We need the biggest applause for that. We've been responsible for 15 pieces of legislation, but you know what? There's a lot more that needs to be done. That's given me a window into government. I've been able to pull people together from both sides of the aisle to deal with an issue. I've done more from outside the system than my opponents that have been in government for a long time. So what do we want in November? The most important thing that Republicans want around this state as I've traveled, we want a candidate that we can win with. We want to beat the Democrats. It's been too long. And you know how we do that? What's our strategy? It is not being embarrassed about the things that are coming out of Washington. It is standing tall and talking about how the economy is better, how we have better opportunities for families through that, how we have 75% of Coloradans that have more money in their paychecks because of the Trump tax cuts. We have to talk about those things. And then we have to talk about how we're going to make Colorado, that we will fix our roads, improve our schools, and reduce the cost of health care. And you know what? We need a candidate who has competence and character. I have shown time and time again my competence in leading and getting things done. I am a man of action. And you know what? Character is important too, because we can foresee the Democrats' attacks. They're going to go off on some of my opponents' personal flaws. We can't have those be the messages from the Democrats day in and day out. We need to talk about the issues. We need somebody, thank you, we need somebody that can lead on the issues and bring us to victory. It's been too long. I hope you rally behind my campaign. I am Doug Robinson. I'm a businessman who cares about kids and our future. I want to build Colorado's vibrant future. Please go to my website, dougforcolorado.com, or check us out. I'm going to be over here in the on the other side where the booths are. Come say hi. But mostly tell your friends and vote for me. I can lead us to victory. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah.
Hello again, everyone. And hi, Doug. Glad
Hi,
to chat with you a little bit about this. I've known Doug Robinson for quite a while through his St. Charles Capital, and as an entrepreneur, we work together in a few circles. And I know you have a lot you want to accomplish, so if you do get elected governor, 4 years down the road, you look back, what is one of your biggest successes? What are you most proud of, and how did you get it done?
Yeah, so I'll just mention two things. One, we have to fix our roads. And it's not raising taxes. That is not the right, this is a fundamental responsibility of government. So we need to do what Bill Owens did 20 years ago and put on and bond about $3.5 billion. And that will give us the money to make an immediate impact in our roads. So number one, I will fix our roads. Two, I will improve the quality of our education, preparing our kids better for the jobs of the future, and bringing our graduation rate from 77% where it is today to over 80%, and our kids 40% across the state at grade level. That should be over 50% where many of our surrounding states are. I've got some ideas. Maybe we can talk later about how to do that, but that's what I want to accomplish.
Okay, great. I also know, us both being from the business world, that our workforce development needs are dire in Colorado. And you combine that with affordable housing and that issue in Colorado when young people have to pay $1,500 in rent, or at CU Boulder, they're really struggling to keep up with the demand for students even in that market. How do you solve the workforce need issues for business folks out there?
These are some of the biggest challenges. I recently met with 25 CEOs, and they said their top challenges are, one, finding folks in Colorado that are trained for the jobs, and two, the high cost of housing and also the time, traffic, and the commuting and so on. So housing, it's pretty simple. We let the market work. We get government out of housing.
Yep.
More government is not the solution. Look what's happening. I'm just going to give you one example. In Colorado Springs, recently, in the last 2 years, the Home Builders Association went to the schools and they said, we don't have enough, subcontractors, framers, and electricians, and so on. Can we bring shop back to the classroom? Innovative idea. They did it.
Fun, too.
And now kids across Colorado Springs are getting a skill. They may go on to college, but they can fall back on, and apprenticeships going into those organizations. It's making a difference in housing prices. The market works if government gets out of the way.
Thank you. I think that's a big applause line, right? So we have a couple minutes left. I know you're very passionate about children in Colorado. The teen suicide rate is one of the top in the nation in Colorado, and I just spoke with a gal who volunteers for the new Heroines Anonymous up in Boulder. They say they have about 50 students a week that show up at that meeting. What the heck do we do about this? We're terrified as parents.
Yeah, this is an absolute crisis in Colorado. For the first time ever in our history, the number one cause of death of teenagers is suicide. It's higher than auto accidents. That is terrible. We have to do something about it, and it means more mental health. One of the things that Diane and I are proudest about is we had a significant role in passing, not this session, but the one before, funding for 150 mental health professionals in the school. We need more mental health, but we also have to get God back into the schools. We need to talk about morality and things that really matter. But we have to help our kids, and we can do more, I think, and also get them off drugs. Most of the kids that have committed suicide have some sort of drug in their body, whether it's marijuana or opioids or Adderall or the other drugs. Just pushing pills is not the solution.
All right. We have a minute left. I want you to tell me you're a strong conservative. If you make it through the primary and win the primary, how do you convince our liberal friends, our purple friends across Colorado that conservative principles are the right way to go after 12 years of the other folks leading our state?
Yeah, so we have to talk about what has happened nationally and be strong, you know. Sometimes, and they may disagree with some of the things that Donald Trump says, but look what has been done to make Colorado better, Colorado families better. So we have to be strong about that and then talk about fixing our roads, improving our schools, dealing with our drug and suicide problems, reducing the cost of health care. We have real actionable ideas, I do, to make these things work. That's what's going to lead us to victory in November.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me, and I hope you all learned a little bit more about Doug. Good luck,
Yes,
Doug.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, folks.